Welcome to the video. This one's going to be a bit of a vlog around a week as a software engineer and also studying. Just an uncharacteristically fun one, so I thought I'd film it as I went along. I filmed this before Christmas. You'll notice that everything's actually quite Christmas themed, but it's just taken me ages to get around to editing it, and that's why. There were a lot more kind of work clips and things that I didn't necessarily film. Part of the time I'd forgotten to film because I was working, so I just hadn't really thought about it. And for some of it I'd filmed bits, but when I came to editing it, I thought I probably shouldn't put up like bits of code or like roadmaps and things for my company. And so I'm going to try and interject a little bit of other bits where I was working, just so that it's a bit clearer that I didn't just spend the week doing nothing, right? On to the vlog. On Monday morning I wake up pretty early, but it's absolutely freezing, so I make some breakfast and get back into bed to do some reading. After an hour it's marginally warmer, so I head out to the gym. We have morning stand-up. Stand-up is something that we have every morning in my team where we basically just go around the room and we catch up on what people have been doing. We give a bit of status update around anything we're working on. We give a bit of detail about what we're going to be working on in the day. And it's basically just an opportunity for us to catch up, check that we're not blocking each other, make sure we're all aligned on who's working on what, and just kind of have a daily catch up to make sure nobody's stuck on anything. I get some work done for a few hours, then head out for lunch. I do some focused work after lunch, aka write some code. Then in the middle of the afternoon I take a break to get coffee and have a catch up with my friend. I try to have fairly regular coffees with a bunch of my colleagues from around the company just to catch up on what's going on in different teams and just have a bit of like social and catch up time. She also showed me her super cool shoes, which turn from flip-flops to boots. Very nice for the unpredictable UK weather. I spent the rest of the afternoon doing code reviews for my team. Predictably, I completely forgot to film all of this because I was working. After work, we head out to have a cheeky Nando's for what we call Peri Peri Club. Then on the way home, I do a bit of reading on the tube just to get a little bit of study time in. The next morning, I head to work early to have breakfast with my team before we start work. I like to arrange team socials for my team every 6 to 8 weeks, just as a chance to like have some social time, have some time where we're not just talking about work and just generally catch up and spend a bit of time getting to know each other. Then we head into the office to start the day. I spend the morning doing some focus work, then doing some pairing on the whiteboard with one of my colleagues, where we're on the whiteboard basically mapping out a new project. Then it's time for lunch, so we all queue up to grab it. This is Thanksgiving lunch, so that should give you an idea of how many months ago this was filmed. After lunch I do an hour or so of work, and then it's time for my support shift. At my company, everyone does a support shift periodically, really regardless of whatever role you're in, just as a way to understand the customers and our products a bit better, and really build that empathy with the users of our products. It can be a bit daunting at times because it's a lot of different products and things that you don't necessarily work on, but overall a really interesting thing I think to do. In the evening I head out to meet my friends for tapas. We share a bunch of small plates and then walk around Tottenham Court Road for a bit to check out the slide exhibition that they have there right near the station. Then I get on the tube and predictably realise I haven't done any studying today, so I'm forced to pull out the tablet and do a little bit of studying. In busy weeks I kind of just have to take the study time where I can between events and things, which living in London means spending all the time commuting and on the tube and on the bus or whatever, just studying. On Wednesday morning I head to the gym quite early and then study in the gym lounge for about an hour before heading into work. Then I head to the office a bit earlier than usual as it's a guild day today. Guilds are something that we have at our company where engineers who work on the same kind of discipline get together across team as a way to just like collaborate on things, catch up on what other people are doing, and just like try things out. This is really nice as it creates a bigger support circle for you outside of your team with other engineers, but it's also quite cool because you just get to work with people who you don't necessarily work with on a day-to-day. One of the nice things is that lots of the new stuff that we've introduced at the company initially started as projects on Guild Day that we were just trying out to see whether we liked it and actually ended up implementing it and taking some of those ideas forward. We break for lunch and then do some handwritten letters which we're sending out to our customers for Christmas to try and give a bit more of a personalised touch. And then we head out to a nearby event space where the second half of our Guild Day is being held. We get a bit of an intro to the afternoon and then do a coding in the dark exercise where we have 5 minutes to write the code and aren't allowed to run it until the end, which is a lot of fun. A retro is a meeting where you just talk about what things have been going well in your team or in your project and what things haven't been going so well, and then do a bit of brainstorming around things that you can do a bit better going forward. I didn't record it because I completely forgot, but we also had a bunch of talks that afternoon just from people in a bunch of different teams showing what they'd been working on or like new technical things that they'd come across and wanted to share with people. So that was kind of cool because it was like a lot of knowledge sharing just across teams and across various engineers. It's a study evening that day, so I have a full evening of studying where I basically spend a few hours studying, reading, taking notes.
And then I also study on the bus home just to get a little bit of extra study time in. On Thursday morning, I continue my quest for this coat that I saw online and I'm desperate to find. So I head out to the shops early to find it, but no luck. This also turns out to be a bad idea because the escalators are broken at the station, so I'm forced to walk down a billion steps just to get the tube to work.
We started the day with an engineering refinement meeting. That's a meeting where we just talked about tickets for upcoming work, so what the upcoming projects would be about, what kind of pieces of work we needed to do for it, and then doing a bit of estimation around how long we thought those pieces of work would take and how long the overall project would take. I did film it, but I had loads of confidential stuff in there, so unfortunately I did not get any clips that I could actually put into here.
I then head to my desk and get some focus work done, and then me and my friends head to the nearby market to have lunch.
More work this afternoon that predictably I completely forgot to film because I was busy thinking about the work and doing the work.
We also have our team retro in the afternoon.
This is just like the retro that I had the previous day with the guild, but for my immediate team, so was us just talking about our product work and how we thought the last few weeks had gone.
I then head to Oxford Street to continue my quest for this coat, but I'm still unlucky, so I just sort of wander around for a bit, and then I study a bit on the tube home.
I try not to make every evening a busy evening, so for me this was my designated free evening of the week.
So I relax and have dinner while watching my absolutely favourite game show, Game Changer, on Dropout TV. Not an ad, but amazing show. I have a super busy day on Friday, so I head out a bit early in the morning to a cafe to do some studying before work.
Predictably, I didn't film any of my work on Friday because I completely forgot, but I basically had a very kind of chill morning of writing some code and then doing a bunch of code reviews for my team.
I then head to a meeting room to have my weekly seminar with uni, which I have for 90 minutes over lunchtime.
On the last Friday of every month, we have what we call Society Friday, which is basically a chance for like various interest clubs at the company to just have an afternoon to do any of the things they want to, so things like sports or crafts or activities or this sort of stuff.
This month I'm doing Craft Club, where I'm doing lino printing for the first time to make some custom cards, and this basically ends up being a very chill afternoon of cutting out designs and just like hanging out with some of my colleagues. We then head out to Winter Wonderland, which is essentially a massive Christmas-themed fun fair that happens every year in London. It's freezing, but we have a really good time, going to the circus, getting food and going on the ice slide. I head into the gym on Saturday morning, but I'm accidentally a bit early, so actually have a bit of unexpected study time before I head into my Reformer Pilates class. I've had a busy week, so I have a bit more studying to do this weekend, and so I head to my study space to do a bit of work and get heads down. I then head to the market and take a walk to stretch my legs and pick up some lunch, and then get a bit more studying done in the afternoon. In the evening, I head out to meet a friend for dinner, and we have a lovely dinner at Dishoom. Not sponsored, but Dishoom, please sponsor me. Dinner finishes quite early, so I arrive back home quite early and spend a bit of time in the evening playing on my new games console that has just arrived. On Sunday, I head out yet again, trying to find the coat that I'm looking for.
You may at this point be wondering if I ever got this code, and of course I absolutely did, even though it took absolutely weeks and it spent ages and I trawled around the city going everywhere. But once I'm on a mission, always on a mission.
I spend the morning doing some more studying and then take a bit of a walk out for lunch, and then also head out to get some books as gifts for people just for a bunch of things that are coming up in the next few months. I have a very uninteresting afternoon of studying, and once I finish studying, I walk along the Thames for a bit just to get my steps in. Then I head to the cinema with my sister and we catch a movie to finish off the week.
That was the week. Next time I'm going to try and film more of me actually doing some work, so stay tuned. It's been a few months since I filmed this, so hopefully we'll film another one pretty soon with a slightly more average week that has a bit more work and a bit more studying. That's the video. Bye. What? What? Oh. Words. Say words.